let's just call that a very extended commercial break.
All right, now we're ready to go. Oh.
Look, there's still 26 people around. Hey, yeah. So that was a pretty extended commercial break. We may have found the solution to the issue. I don't know. I think we have to get that. We still have to get that thing. I think the cooler thing, or we like go to Best Buy tomorrow, because Best Buy's there's gotta be some thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's see if this thing works. If not, then we'll go get the other thing.
Yeah, let's timestamp.
Okay, so there's a new link. Is there a new Rumble link? I'll worry about it later. Don't worry about it. I'll situate it out later.
Why would we worry about it later?
Oh, okay.
Are you in on Rumble? Well, best thing to do is refresh that and see if it kept the live video. Yeah, so you got the you hit skip ad right there.
Yep.
And then skip that ad too. And then we'll see if we're live on Rumble.
I was just gonna do the same thing.
Scroll down a little bit. You see where it says live?
Oh, wait, I gotta
hit live.
This?
Yeah.
Oh. Whoops.
Okay, now turn up your volume.
Okay, good. We're live.
Okay, so we're pretty good.
But, yep. Okay.
No chippiness. That's a good sign. Yeah. I think we've located the issue, and it may just be as simple as overheating. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to Best Buy and try to get something like official. So I think that'll solve that problem. Okay. All right. Now we have.
All right. So I'll just read the intro again.
We do have the intro video. Hold on, because let me just get rid of this guy.
I'm gonna take that time step again and then just read the intro over. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's that's the issue. It's like when the thing starts getting hot or whatever, like right here, like it's like mega hot right there. You see that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Take this one instead of this charging cord.
Why?
Well, it's just a better one, and yours is working harder, so.
So that's what's going on.
Okay. All right, let me grab that timestamp, babe.
Yep.
Oh, because we just started a new video.
I swear to God, these people. You gotta stop using the McDonald's internet.
That's alright. They don't understand.
I don't understand either.
Alright.
Alright, guys, here we go.
Okay, so we're starting this over, so. Alright, you guys, let's get into our intro. So, this is the Epic Underground. The leader is Archero, and he says the theme of this alliance poll was stories. Submissions could be any song in any genre, but the alliance member would share a story connected to the song, such as seeing the band live, an experience they had while hearing the song, or a memory they associate with the song. He said, we had a tie, so this is the first of the two winners. This song by the German band Falkenbach was chosen by me, Archero. First, listen to my story right here.
Okay. Here is Archero's story. By the way, if anybody, we're going to make a field trip to Best Buy tomorrow to get like something to cool down the computer. If anybody knows anything about like computer cool downs, let us know. Preferably something I could just put the computer on top of. I would not want like a fan where we'd have to reduce the noise and mess with your guys' quality. So if it's just like a little like layout thingamajiggy that you can use, that'd be great. Okay. Having said that, let's listen to Archero's 2-minute little thingamajiggy about this song, and then we'll get right into it. Archero's story. Let's do it.
Several years ago, I had to drive to Del Rio, Texas for work. Del Rio is a small town in West Texas that's right on the border with Mexico. It's about a 2.5-hour drive from where I live. It's all on highways, but it is all through rural areas and pretty small towns. I had just recently bought the Falkenbach album that this song is on, but I hadn't listened to it yet. I put it in my truck's CD player for the drive, thinking this would be a pretty good chance to listen to it a few times while I was on the road. I spent most of the day in Del Rio and started on the drive back home late that afternoon. Weather had been fine that morning, although pretty cold. But not long into my drive home, the weather started getting pretty bad and it was sleeting. That probably still would have been okay, except that the defroster in my truck had just stopped working a few days ago.
Oh,
That meant
no.
that even with my windshield wipers on at full blast, water was slowly freezing across my entire windshield and limiting my visibility. I did the only thing I could think of to do, which was to put one hand up against a spot on the windshield for a couple minutes at a time, and just keep that spot warm enough not to freeze, and kind of make a little hole through the ice that I could see through. Then I would just move my hand up slightly higher or slightly to the right or left to keep
That's really freaking dangerous, by the way.
Yeah, don't do this. Such a bad
Don't
idea.
do this.
Well, we're probably about to hear. It's probably a
putting
precautionary
those
thing.
kind of holes in the ice that I could look through. I still had Falkenbach playing that entire time. Now, on an ordinary trip, probably would have eventually gotten tired of it and switched to something else, but I didn't dare try to mess with the music while I got one hand on the steering wheel and the other against the windshield the entire way with it sleeting on me. So this is normally a 2.5 hour drive, but that time was about a 4 hour drive home since I was driving something like 20 miles per hour to feel safe. For y'all outside of the U.S., that's about 32 kilometers per hour. Luckily, in one of the small towns I passed through, I found an open gas station, and there I was able to get a scraper and some antifreeze to pour all over my windshield. So from that point on, I didn't have to keep my hand on the windshield anymore, but I did have to stop every 10 minutes or so to get out and just clear it all off the windshield again. But basically, I listened to this Falkenbach album on repeat over and over and over for about 4 hours of a very dangerous drive, and I will always associate every song in this album with that trip.
I bet. How long is the album, Archero? So how many times did you listen through it? That is such a bad idea.
I am glad that Archero made it home safe. Holy shit. Don't ever do that again. Call me. Call me. You could have been killed, bro. Honestly. Don't do that. All right, here we go. Falkenbach when Gjallarhorn will sound. Let's check it out. Dramatic. I think Archero has a emotional connection to this song because I don't think that he can disassociate that very unique moment in his life.
I agree.
With the soundtrack that was playing at the time of the event. But Archero, buddy, I love you. But that was probably the worst song you've ever given us. And I would just like to know why.
I'm just gonna come right in here and read off Daniel's comment from Rumble. He said, holy shit, that was epic as fuck. 11 out of 10.
Who said such a thing?
Daniel.
Was it from Rumble? Our Daniel?
Yep, from Rumble.
Where?
Right here. Holy shit.
He gave it an 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10, so not everybody shares the same opinions
Well,
as us.
all right.
But
This was our last show for Rumble. We will no longer be broadcasting from Rumble.
Bye now.
Goodbye. Go ahead.
I do. Okay, so when the song started out, the vocal style change, I liked that. And it kind of had like a, sort of an epic sound sort of building. But I did feel like that the dun 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 of the vocals in the middle that just kept repeating and repeating and repeating. I actually felt like it would be the perfect soundtrack for what you were doing. Archero. I don't know if you have been in that situation. We had a windshield wiper break or something. Remember we had to keep washing the window with a clump of ice or something?
I remember being in a couple of situations with you, bro. Couple of them shits.
Yeah.
One of them, I said, we were driving, she was about to go, we were going over something, and I knew the car wasn't going to stop. I forgot, what did I say? I just put my hand out, I said,
this isn't going to be good.
This isn't good.
But he says it so calm. I need you guys to understand why there's been so much miscommunication from my side on things like this. Because our vehicle was literally about to hit the ditch. Okay?
Yeah, it was going down. It was dark.
It was complete ice, and we came down this incline, and we were just slowly into there was nothing that could be done.
Yeah, the brakes, the brakes were a joke at the time. And we were on the wrong side of gravity.
That wasn't the only situation that took place.
Yeah.
So I had a misunderstanding about what a submissive wife looks like. And so I thought that to nag you and say, yo, you need to hit the brakes before we get to that corner because this is ice, was something that I should just let him be, do his own man
I was not born. I was born in Jamaica. Spent time in Florida and had all my formative years in the Bronx, New York. Okay? I don't know about night driving in Maine and the horrible weather.
It was ice everywhere
and the whatever.
And it was raining on the ice. So it's beautiful, but it was so horrible.
Beautiful, very beautiful.
So we went down slowly and then whoop, into the ditch. We had to call AAA.
Yeah.
It was pretty ridiculous. And
yeah, I just when it became clear to me that we were gonna go over and into the ditch, I figured that you ought to know. I said, I wanted to warn you, let you know, this is not good. I told her.
He said
this is not good.
So now I realize, actually, whenever you've been the most calm, that's when something was actually about to pop off. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, because we did hit the ditch. We did miss that flight. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip it. So if you're all extra about something, I'll be like, you just having a bad day.
Yeah,
if you're all calm about something, I'll be like, well, hold up, what?
Yeah, and then she started making fun of me because I was calm in the car crash.
I didn't make fun of you. I thought it was
what
cute.
else was I supposed to do? Freak out? We're gonna die? I said, there's a good chance. I was like, there's a good chance we're both gonna come out of this okay. But I was like, I was gonna lose. I was like, I'm gonna break my arm. As they always tell you, if you do that shit, you're gonna break your arm.
Well.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna break my arm for Shorty.
I don't know if you remember.
The exchange.
Really? That's what you thought?
Well, yeah. That's...
Not me. You know what I was thinking?
I was trying to get you to relax.
We were on some Bonnie and Clyde shit.
Yeah, at the time we were on a mission at the time.
I was like, oh no! We shot ourselves in the damn foot.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw some Bonnie and Clyde shit sometimes. Yeah.
Well, we made it. Called
Okay.
AAA.
So.
Okay, so it was. So anyway, I said all of
if
that.
they made the song 6 minutes instead of 8, it would be perfect. Well, I wouldn't say it would be perfect, but it would have been less difficult to score if it was 2 minutes shorter. Archero. Now, Archero is an actual friend of ours, and so you might be thinking, why are they being so mean to this guy? It's like, no, like the proximity to which I'm close to you is the proximity with which I will tell you like exactly what's on my mind, the way it is in my mind. Now, other people, you have to filter that because, you know, they're not sure that you love them yet. So if you give them like the unfiltered, unvarnished, whatever, then they're gonna, you know, do crazy shit. You know how people go on the internet, especially over the internet. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be careful. But Archero is one of my people. So there you go.
Yeah.
According to Middle Earth, the song was good. He's surprised it's getting some flack.
Yeah, for me, it was just.
Good. No, go ahead.
Just felt like it just got like super like mundane, and I just felt like if you've ever been in one of those situations, so a trip that should have taken Archero 2 hours took him 4.5 hours, and the trip was a difficult one because he had to keep thawing out his windshield and then getting out, and it like elongates the entire thing, obviously over double the amount of time. So when you're in those situations, it's sort of like kind of trudging through.
Look, Archero is trashing his entire house because he's in such a rage. He's in heathen Viking rage.
You know, Archero, there are certain things about you that reminds me of somebody that's in, like, not my immediate family, but like somebody within like Sori's family tree. And he always used to show up to the family get-togethers with a laser pointer when laser pointers were like the new thing. And he'd always end up putting it in your friggin' eye.
Like the way you talk about Archero is the way you talk about...
I said to myself when I didn't really like this song, I was like, is this because he reminds me of getting that thing in my eye? And then I was like, no, I don't like the song.
There's some people that we talk about like daily, like offline. In the real world, is that what they talk about?
Yeah.
The real world? Yeah. Archero. Archero. He's one of the chillest people, though. That's another reason why there's no filter with Archero. He's just chill. Like, doesn't mean you can abuse him, but it just, you know, he's chill. He's not gonna, you know, some people, it's like, oh, you can't say something, you know, whatever. Shout out to Archero. This shit is still trash, my man. Once blood was shed of countless men in the name of the cross and Christian prayers for hundreds of years, his heart laid in chains, but hate is growing stronger every day by day. So.
Well, did you?
Okay. Yeah, this is the you know, I still got my pagan heritage, you Christian oppressors. We're gonna come here and we're gonna wreck shop. I wonder if, you know, because there's supposed to be this big conflagration at the end, you know, Ragnarok, where even the gods die or whatever. It's everybody dies in this, you know, conflation of just jihad and bloodshed. So like, I don't. Was the Vikings' theology already developed, and then by the time the Christians ran into them, it was like whatever? Or did Ragnarok as a perspective come about in response to the Christian oppression, where basically, at least at the subliminal level, collectively, they understood there's no way we're going to beat these people, and so the best thing we can hope for is just an all-out battle in which everybody's dead. And then they theologize that into Ragnarok. So it's kind of like there's always this nihilistic understanding of we're going to ultimately lose, but war for the sake of war itself then becomes... You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, did that happen before or after in the evolution of their religion? That's something that, like, I would like to know, because that's very, very interesting. And it's true. The Vikings ran to the Christians. Like, yeah, I know who instigated it. I'm just wondering, like, the concept of Ragnarok, where, like, this unwinnable war, but the good guys fight with valor until the last man. Like, did that come about as a response to the Christian, you know, conquest of Viking lands, no matter who instigated, or was that already a predetermined idea, and then they ran into the Christians? That'd be something I'd like to know. Or was it a combination of Christian ideas about Armageddon, right, with their own understanding of their gods? Was it a synchronistic sort of definition? Like I'm so ignorant on like Vikings and their like history. I would like to know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like with us, there's so much extant literature, and you can almost every religious movement that you see in the Bible, you can understand considering the social pressures or the social environment, or even like we always talk about the natural selection pressures that would then determine certain kinds of actions and whatever. Like, there's a lot of literature about that, but relative to Vikings or pagans in general, because we live in a Christian environment, we don't really hear about the growth and development and evolution of their thought process. Because Christian, obviously we're Christians, so our authors are going to be, whatever. So that's something I would like to think about, because for me, like, definitely, like, there's a very logical, natural selective explanation for Islam, in my opinion. You have the Arabs as a variegated groups of foreign tribes who were consistently under the pressure of the Iranians on one side and the remnants of Rome on the other side. And then you had all these Arabs who had the most numbers in the area, but because they could never unify, they were always at the behest of these two other powers. And so monotheism, where there's only really one God that then unites all these tribes, and by the way, that one God only has one messenger. Now you've got a force that unifies everybody in the area, and they can then go out and dominate the Arab Peninsula. Like, you can clearly see the Darwinian natural selective ramifications of that. That makes a lot of sense. Sociologically, that makes a lot of sense. All these things like make sense. Because I'm so ignorant of pagan ideology, like, all I know about paganism is like the few people we meet in Maine who, like, I try to respect it, but I'm like, I don't get the feeling like this is like official. Like, I don't get the feeling like if I put one of these guys in a time machine and sent them to medieval Viking territory, that they would be able to blend in. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know a lot about those people.
I will say, and this is my limited experience with this, but I have found that when you meet the pagan people that I've met, it seems like they are all, like, they have some things that are similar, but their religions are very different, even though they're all calling themselves pagan. They highlight different things. Some things are just like, well, they'll say, this is what I've thought up. This is what I've done for this part of it. So there's a lot of, like, your own thoughts, as well as some things. I haven't found, like, I don't think every person that claims to be a Christian all believes the same thing. Obviously, that's how we have denominations at churches. But there are core beliefs that we have that even if we don't, like, acknowledge that we believe in exact Christians, we're going to tell you that Jesus' death on the cross is tantamount to our, that's how we get our forgiveness. That's how we get to heaven. That's how we gain access to God, and we get that closeness with him. So, baptism is a part of what we do after we become a Christian, as a first step toward, like, I'm following this guy, like, whatever you want to go under the water, I'm going under the water, there's, we have certain communion, things like this, but I haven't found, when I talk to pagan people, and again, I haven't spoken to a lot, I haven't found, like, these are core beliefs that they all have and they all share. It seems like there are, like, stories that they might, repeat, but I haven't found, like, these are the core beliefs that are...
Well, Angel Sin says Norse religion also wasn't organized either. It was more so a collection of different religious traditions.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, that makes sense.
That being the case, because you see this with Islam, there are clear Zoroastrian influences in the Quran and the Hadith. There are obvious...
Okay, Zoroastrian?
It's a form of monotheism that is but that isn't Abrahamic. So it's a form of monotheism that's not related to the God of Abraham.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of fit into the concept of the al-Injil, meaning the people of the book, Like there's some debate, like there were still Zoroastrians around when Muhammad was around, and because they believed in a single God, they kind of left to themselves, even though it wasn't, Orthodox Sunnism. Just here to say, cope and seed, eternally gay, atheist, pagan LARPers. Christ conquered you, and you converted peacefully 95% of the time. Stop crying about it, you neckbeard losers. Hail Saint King Olaf. This is my racist friend. This is Stephen Nealis.
I had no idea.
He said, just accepted Christ conquered you. It's like, well, I mean, I do know that the pagans were the ones that started that particular conflict, the Vikings. Because, Ragnar wanted to get on his ship and wreck shop, and he ran into some folks that, we had them sticks. We had them sticks, boy. That's what we used to say. But yeah, like, okay. Thank you, he says. So I think like, the song definitely lyrically, and I will say, like, there was one part in the song where it was like, doo, doo, doo. I don't know if it was a key, I don't know what it was, but I thought that was cool. But I just remember thinking to myself, like, that's like the illest part in this whole song, but it takes too long to get there for me. I don't know, it's of course. I didn't really like the song, bro, but I did like the lyrics, so I'm gonna give this one a solid 6.4. 6.4.
This one is a 6.6 for me.
Yeah, Controller, like with everybody in our community, Basilius knows what he's talking about. It's just, he doesn't believe in God's power to reconcile the races. So just know that when you're dealing with him. But I'm glad you're talking to him, and I'm glad that everybody in our community is not doing the whole, oh, if you're a Nazi, we don't like you. Like, you're coming welcome. As long as you don't threaten to hurt anybody that we love, like, you can hang out. We're not going to mess with you. You have your free speech. You can say whatever racist shit you want, but just don't try to hurt anybody in our community. All right. New seed, we're coming right back. Shout out to, oh, look. Reza por Elios, Hipocrita. Hipocrita!
Ah. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Yes, we shall be back. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and shall lead them.
So buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener.
Alliance Stream.
Where is it?
I moved it.
This
here.
one right here?
Yep. I moved everything in there. Okay, this is the Alliance Stream, ladies and gentlemen, and as you know before, they threw in something new here that we're doing. Let's read it. Wolfheart the Hammer.
Oh shit, this is from Northern Scoundrel though. I really want to see this now.
This is from the Epic Underground, whose leader is Archero. Archero says, wait, but this is supposed to be Northern Scoundrel? Maybe this is Northern Scoundrel.
It's Northern Scoundrel who's telling the story.
Okay, the theme of this Alliance poll was stories. Submissions could be any song in any genre, but the Alliance member would share a story connected to the song, such as seeing the band live, an experience they had while hearing the song, or a memory they associate with the song. He said, we had a tie, so this is the second of the two winners. Northern Scoundrel chose this song from Wolfheart. Start by listening to his story here and admire his pictures with the band.
I'm telling the kids to put on the, what do you call it?
Yeah.
The AC. Alright, wait, I gotta download this thing.
Okay,
so
yep.
Keep talking to the people.
Okay.
Alright, I got it. I have Northern Scoundrel's video.
Okay, let's check it out.
We really gotta make a point to go to that fucking place tomorrow.
Yep.
Alright, here we go, guys. This is Northern Scoundrel's story. Pay attention.
It started with me seeing Insomnium and Wolfheart going on a tour in Europe together with headliner Moonspell back in the summer of 2022. Finally, my chance to see Wolfheart live, and then they added Borknagar and Hinayana to the lineup as well, which meant I got to see 3 bands in one evening for the first time. In between the bands there was a break, and so between Wolfheart playing and Borknagar, I went to the merch stand, and surely enough, I got to meet all the members of Wolfheart. And I got the answer to the question I've had for a while. Where in Norway did they film the music video for the song Zero Gravity? The answer? Skiboten by Lingen Fjord in northern Norway. Not far from where the horror comedy movie Dead Snow takes place, a movie of which the vocalist of Wolfheart is a fan.
Alright, guys, here we go. Nobody heard a word we were saying. We were miming.
For how long? But you heard the Northern Scoundrels breakdown. So that's
The Hammer from Wolfheart. Let's do it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh, that was beautiful. I gotta clap faster.
Fucking incredible
That was
song.
really good.
That
That was
Dude,
so good.
that was so hard,
good.
bro. Such a good song. Such a good song. Had the tremolo. Had the crazy
Incredible.
solo. Dude.
That was really good.
Dude.
Really good.
Dude.
And that transition at the end.
Who was this again?
This one.
Who was this?
Was it Misery Biz? Northern Scoundrel. Northern Scoundrel.
I don't know, man.
That is a good song.
We gotta have I gotta have a parking lot or something over here. Shit,
that is our alliances, you guys. Epic Underground.
That song was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Dude, dude, like that was just so hard.
Yep.
This is the song of the year to me right now. I'm telling you right now, this is the song of the year for me. Holy hell. That riff is just that was just so hard, man. Like I would have listened to this like right over again, like literally, like when I have my time, like this is gonna like be ground zero. You know, like how I go through them things and I like have my guitar around for days and like nobody can get between me and yeah, it's gonna be one of them situations.
Yep, I believe
Did you ever do the thing for my amp, by the way? What the fuck?
I keep telling you the same thing over and over.
Anyway,
I can't answer those questions.
Yeah. Holy hell. I cannot tell you how much I love this song. Lyrically, it was perfect. Sonically, the solo. Such a good song. Okay, what's the name of the song? What's the name of the song again?
So the name of the song, I send you the link. It's Wolfheart the Hammer.
Wolfheart the Hammer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just beautifully done. I just start to finish. I enjoyed all of it, and the way that they ended it was just incredible. Also,
what, is this it right here?
No, right here. I think it was Nolan or something.
Can you just get me the lyrics?
Oh, you need the lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were. I think if I probably send you this picture, it'll be easier.
That was insane. That was such a good song. Such a good song.
Man.
That was Scoundrel? Scoundrel that did that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. So when it did that transition at the end, I think one of our commenters, Nolan, yeah, said they didn't like the transition. Nolan. I don't know. I don't remember which person said it. They didn't really like the transition at the end. I'll tell you, I didn't even realize, like, I realized the transition happened, obviously, because we went from heavy to, like, that beautiful stuff at the end. But I never, like, heard the transition. It was like all of a sudden I was in the other spot. So I don't know if I didn't like the transition or if I liked it. I couldn't even comment on that. I loved all the pieces. It was an incredible song. Well, I wonder
maybe Nolan's saying that they're trans. Maybe Nolan is actually trans, like literally trans. And maybe he wasn't talking about the transition. You feel me?
Oh. I guess.
God, I cannot tell you guys how much I love that song so much, man. Like, I didn't even know.
That's going on his playlist. I already sent him the link.
Like, I needed this song, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even know I needed this song. But I legit need this song, bro. Like, it was such a good song.
Oh, that's
very,
cool.
very, very meaningful. These are not all the lyrics, though. Is it?
That's all there was. That's all I had over here.
Those are all the lyrics that are there?
That's all that's here. Look.
Yeah, like, it definitely, like, I don't know if nostalgia is the right word for it, but yeah, it definitely brought up some nostalgic memories for sure.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Are you shareable or unshareable?
I mean, it's just that kind of situation, man. Last one against the Legion. Brigade of Death marches ahead. Reload and aim higher. Dig deeper into your tomb underneath the cannon fire. In the eye of the storm, dead silence, rise of the final dawn, dawn of the violence, frozen soil where the blood of your brothers runs cold, runs red on the ground, never surrender, never retreat, the last defender, the hammer of the north, end quote.
It's a war. It's like a war song.
It was just like one of those, like, I had a conversation one time with a friend of mine recently, and we were talking about, like, how easy to manipulate young men are. And we talked about like that delusion that young people usually have of like immortality. Like young dudes cannot imagine themselves being on the wrong side of one of those situations and like actually dying. It's very hard for them to. And so we, you know, especially Americans, especially if you were socialized in America, you know, like the idea that you can do anything you want and be anything you want as long as you work hard enough. These are lessons that like they're normalized for Americans, and it is not the universal experience of people around the world. Like that's a relatively new idea that you can do and be anything that you want.
I agree.
So like,
I mean, it also speaks to a bit of privilege, right? Because the fact that you could even say something like that to your kids means that you're a certain level of privilege. There are a lot of things that American kids have access to that they could, if they just apply themselves, could actually do. But like you can't, you know, there's not every place in the world has access to all the things that you know, American kids have.
Right. But like it communicates, you know, a certain kind of mindset. And so then we talked about like Black Hawk Down, because Black Hawk Down is, of course, now looking back at it, one of the most brilliant, well-timed, well-intentioned, coordinated bits of propaganda the world has ever seen. And this person said that that movie almost single-handedly kept us from a draft during the GWAT.
No kidding.
So it was extremely influential.
Wow.
And so we were having this discussion because we couldn't understand it, because everybody that actually went and did something, and you were to say, what was the most impactful scene to you in Black Hawk Down, where you said, I have to be in with these people?
Yeah.
Almost 100, almost 99 out of 100 times, it was Wolfheart and Gord, where Durant got hit with, you know, he got, you know, and then you had these two snipers that were safe, and they were picking people off from up top, but they wanted to go and secure the crash site, and it was only them two. And these guys, you know, there's a famous line, they go and make sure that Durant is okay, and he goes, where's the rescue element? And then Wolfheart looks back and says, we're it. And of course, Gary Gordon's from Lincoln, Maine. Like, we drive down and whatever, and you go into Lincoln, Maine, you'll see Gary Gordon. I always say a little whatever. Sometimes I'll point to you, sometimes I won't, but you know, it's legendary. But it was so curious, because it's like, how is it that a moment of impending and certain death, two guys against an entire city of in a war-torn area, okay, like that
is able to influence.
Adid's militia was extreme. I mean, thank God for Cot, because if it wasn't for Cot, there would have been a lot more dead than, you know, 18 people. But the point is like, it was just a very curious discussion we were having, because we were like, this was a monument to American failure. A lot of the dudes that were on that objective won't even talk about it. It was looked upon, and then we left afterwards. We turned tail and ran. And so it's like, how is this, you know, they were dragging dudes in the street. Why is this like moment of like, America is low, and these two guys who are the best warriors that we could produce succumb to their injuries against a city full of people? How the hell does that become such a powerful recruiting tool where young men says, yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so
valid.
like I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that question is. I don't know. Like, I do. The only thing I can think of, to be honest with you, is that I know a lot of people, I think we talked about this offline, where like, dudes hit a certain point where like you wanted to die that way.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted to die that way. Like,
Yep.
that was like a but so that there was one kind of like over thing that we like came to a conclusion of. It's like we saw that and we were like, I want to die that way. And it's like, I know a lot of people like inside and outside that like they were like, yeah, like I saw that and like that's what hit me. And it's crazy to me because I was in the psych ward. They used to let us see a movie once a week.
Can't believe they.
And they would literally
Played
take
that
us to
in
field
there.
trips to the movie theater. So it'd be
I
like,
just don't I
maybe
feel
like 4 or
somebody
5.
wasn't
It
doing
was
their
like literally, it was
job.
like day camp. It was like 4 or 5 camp counselors, like 20, 30 crazy people. Like literally, and we all ended up on like floor 1 because like we were literally all of us were like, if you were on that floor, you were minutes away from like legitimately dying. So anyway, they let us out once, so you'd see us. It was like it was like busloads of us, like all the crazy people are showing up. And it was Black Hawk Down. We were watching Black Hawk Down while I'm in the psych ward for my suicidal ideation. No, I did not see behind. I did not see behind enemy lines in the psych ward, but my friend Ed did, and it triggered his PTSD.
That's what I mean. Come
Because
on.
Ed was
What?
he was Air Force during the, you know what I'm saying? So like, but yeah, it was crazy because I remember I was I was in the cycle, and I remember at the time being like, oh my, I was like I wished I was there so I could like die that way. But at the time I was like, well, I was in the
I
cycle,
wonder.
and so like to hear other people be like, oh yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because I was in the
Shit,
sidewalk
yeah.
for suicide, so I was like, I was like, oh, here's Vinny being stupid again.
I see.
But I knew a lot of dudes. I know a lot of dudes that were like, that was their thing. Like,
Wow.
and then the second most popular thing that they said was, if I was there, it would have been different.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Because we watch horror movies, I don't like horror movies, but we watch movies that like scare us and we think to ourselves, well, this person was dumb. They shouldn't have gone in that garage. I would have gone in the garage. You know what I mean? Like, so I didn't know if like your natural instincts to try to survive figures out what the other people did wrong and be like, I wouldn't have done that though. Not realizing that hindsight is 20/20. So if somebody just was watching it, then they're going to figure, oh, it would have been different if I was there.
Yeah. But regardless of how rational or irrational it is, that was the second biggest thing.
Yep.
Was like,
Yeah.
if I would have been there,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And like, it's true because them two dudes held off an entire city, and to be honest with you, they were literally across the street. You know, Paul, the crazy guy. When I was like, I'm not.
Mhm.
His element was literally across the street, but because they couldn't get comms right, them two dudes died by themselves, and literally their friends were like literally around the corner. But that's how bad comms. That's how bad comms work. The comms are so important. Same thing that happened with Lone Survivor, different story. But
So
I mean, they
frustrating.
exploited the hell out of that situation. Like,
Yep.
see what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
they obviously were trying to make that this generation's BHD. See
Yep.
what I'm saying? And thank God it did not have the impact that Black Hawk Down did. But anyway,
Wow.
so that's kind of like what it reminds me of. It's like that.
Yeah. No, I can
That
see
whole
that.
mentality, and like, and it's so interesting because like I had to listen to a lot of Anwar al-Awlaki. He was a dude born in New Mexico, got radicalized
You
after 9/11,
okay.
and
Yeah.
so I had to familiarize myself a lot with him, and he got bumped to most wanted, even higher than bin Laden. And the reason for that is because he was so adept at getting young westernized,
Oh,
not
to get them-
westernized, young Western people
Wow.
to
Sympathetic and involved in his cause.
to support jihad.
Wow.
And he was
Well,
purposeful about it. He would say,
yeah, that's
say,
one of my
we have
questions.
always had to rely on young people, even from the beginning, because remember, none of Muhammad's family
Right.
would ever accept him. The people that accepted Muhammad were Al-Ansar, and that was the Aus and the Hazraj. Long story short, it was a bunch of young people in their 20s who had been literally at war with each other, like Chicago. It was literally a Chicago situation, like literally killing each other for decades, dudes across the street from you. So these are young guys. Now here's this guy. He's 40 years old, and he's gonna unite them. So you can see there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That works like that. It does not work like that in other contexts.
How did he accomplish that? like, how did he get Westerners to join? I mean, it's a death cult ultimately. Like, you're gonna go over there to die. Like, what was his?
Because
what was?
It's not that difficult because the secular Westerners have taken all purpose and all transcendent value away from young people. So, like, we grew up believing that we were image bearers of God, that we were necessary to the world, and that we were going to grow, and we were absolutely, definitely going to impact the world by being ourselves.
Yep.
Okay, because there's a higher. We were taught that there's a higher purpose, and that you are a not the sum total of the purpose, but a necessary element
piece
of it. And so, because of that, you walked around with a certain level of dignity and honor.
Yeah.
That people who were not taught that did not have.
You know, this...
And just 2 seconds.
Go ahead, yeah.
So you feed a kid this for 20, 30 years, but he's got a drive to have a purpose bigger than himself. Enter Anwar al-Awlaki, who's extremely charismatic, and says, the reason that you're dissatisfied with life in America is because Allah has chosen you for something bigger. And then look at all the horrible shit that the Americans have done throughout the world, which is all true. And who's going to stand up to them? If you pay taxes to an American, that's a form of humiliation called jizya. Okay, so he just throws all this stuff at these young, impressionable kids. And then when the kid goes to school, their secular teachers like, be nice to everybody. You see what I'm saying? Or he goes to school and now we're in he's in detention over some pronoun shit. Well, okay, well, yeah.
It's going to have an effect.
Of course I'm going to follow a guy like that tells me that. And the other side of that is that, with the rise of, like, the internet, atheism, you're not getting the thoughtful atheism like Nietzsche, right? Who Nietzsche is going, okay, if the death of God is real, and if the Ubermensch or the Overman is attainable, okay, then it's going to cost a lot of bodies going to and from, right? So going from graduating from the death of God to humanity reaching that Ubermensch sort of goal, which is his ideal. Between that, there's going to have to be a lot of death and destruction as we try to reorient how to exist without this concept of God. Like, he was thoughtful about it. Sam Harris, all these guys, they got very famous, they got very rich very quickly by just giving out a truncated understanding of atheism, and then telling young people all the ramifications that go along with this first premise irrelevant. So you would go and you would have atheists say, no, there's no God, and because of that, I understand that there's no such thing as real morality. But then you had these modern kids. These modern kids were saying there's no God and morality is still objective, or there's no God, but we can still have morality without God, and they don't. But because they're not like reading like Nietzsche and reading all this stuff, they're just seeing a YouTube clip where they think Sam Harris owns somebody. Now they're saying all this stuff, and now they're being left alone to contend with the nihilism of the ramifications of what that means. They're left alone with it. So they have to reinvent the wheel. These guys don't even know about Nietzsche and the death of God and what he was saying about the madman in the court and all the rest of it. They don't know none of that shit.
Right.
So they get stuck, and so they then become extremely open and vulnerable to. Why do you think that our society is so extreme right now? It's one thing to say we need to treat all our trans neighbors with a certain level of decorum and respect and all the rest of it, right? Like, I think that's across the board common sense shit. But y'all know what I'm talking about. It's this extreme, and then you got extremes on the other side. We're going to go extremely left and talk about killing kids at 9 months, or we're going to go extremely right and say, go into this crazy manosphere shit where we're talking about abusing women, talking about cheating. All these groups, why is everything so extreme?
Yeah.
And it's because it is it's a reflection of the absolute and abject emptiness that young, modern, secular kids have that they're trying to contend with. And they're going to follow any adult in the next approximate generation that gives them some sort of semblance of value and purpose.
Wow. Yeah.
And so when you have adults telling children you have no intrinsic value or ultimate purpose, here's the facts. We are created with intrinsic value and purpose. So that child knows that person is full of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They just don't know what the answer is.
Yep.
And then in comes a guy like Ellicky,
Right.
or in comes a movie like Black Hawk Down that can tell a disaffected young person,
Wow.
hey, your life kind of, you do.
Wow.
This is the way, because you're going to go down in history.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Like you're going to live forever. And that's going to be the last image of you, is that you, well, you tell a kid that, of course they're going to jump off of that. Of course. And that's why you had, I forgot what the guy's name is. He was one of the four horsemen of atheism. He just recently came out and said the world was better with cultural Christianity. He said, and he was like one of the big four. He's like, I think he even said that he was a cultural Christian or something like that. But this was a guy who was made, I think it was Richard, it wasn't Richard Dawkins, it was the other guy. But this is a guy who had made all of his millions mocking Christians and all the rest of it. He just recently came out and said, he's like, yeah, things are a lot better with cultural Christianity. So my Muslim friend was like, y'all can have that one. Y'all can keep that one. But I mean, yeah, man, like, yeah, that. So we had a pretty good discussion as to how easy it is. Yeah, it was Richard Dawkins. Okay.
I thought that's who you said it was Richard Dawkins.
How easy it is to influence children in a way that you couldn't do it in the 90s. You could not do that to a 90s kid. Like 90s kids, like we were like, no, we're not listening to adults, blah, blah, blah. But we had our own mentality. And the purpose that we had was to rebel. Mm-hmm. That was your purpose. Mm-hmm. Your purpose was, don't be like them. Don't be like your parents. Don't be like, but at least it was a purpose.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt anybody. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to paint my nails. And let a nigga say some shit to me. Say some shit to me, bro. See what I'm saying? And like, cool. That was the war. Is like we were, and you know what? I made out of high school. I never really got into any altercations about my nail polish. You see what I'm saying? Like no, you know what I mean? But I was able to be like, this is a sign of my rebellion. But nobody died. You know what I'm saying? And like, now it's different. Now it's a completely different ballgame. Because, you know, I think when you have elders in that community, I would say Dawkins is one of the elders of the internet atheist kind of thing. Like, I think there's some wisdom in that. And if young people would sit and watch and look at the trajectory of where these people have went, look at Sam Harris's trajectory, for example. Pretty much anybody that was like idolized Sam Harris at the beginning can't stand him now. He's on the side of genocide, for example, relative to the Israel-Palestine thing. He's walking out the ramifications of his worldview, and the millions of people who have been blessed with some modicum of common grace are like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? And we come along and say, he's living out the ramifications of his atheism. This is what we've been telling y'all. This is what we've been telling you. So it's just it's a very, very, very interesting time to be alive. But yeah, like it was, if you think that you can't be brainwashed or that you can't be psychologically manipulated by your government, if you believe that, that means you absolutely have been. It means you absolutely have been, for sure. You could have told me nothing after I saw Black Hawk Down. You could have told me nothing. Like right I got out of the hospital, I filled up my book bag. Remember, you know that big long bridge I showed you?
Yep.
I was running. 2-3 o'clock at night, book bag full of books. Running. And all I had in my head was that scene.
That's
like
crazy. Wow.
You know, so like, yeah, shit's crazy. It's crazy. This song, it's an 11 for me. I love this song. Just an incredible, incredible, incredible song. Is Perkinos in this bitch? If Perkinos was here, that's all I would need. I believe I'm brainwashed. Does that mean I'm not? Well, it would depend on who's brainwashing you. Like, for example, if you were brainwashed by me, then any answer I give you would just further your brainwashed status. You see? Anyway. This song's an 11. I love this song, and I owe whoever suggested this song, but I'm gonna be like hearing this shit on. I'm gonna hear this shit on repeat. Dawkins is a loser who's terrified of debating William Lane Craig under the excuse of he defends God ordained ordering geociting the Canaanites when genocide is just stardust bumping into stardust to him. Yeah, I thought, like I said, I was never impressed with any of the internet atheists. Their movement kind of died after 5 years. I was never impressed with any of them. We had Aaron Ra on the show.
The video's still up there if anybody wants to.
I was never really impressed with those guys, but
Yeah.
But I prayed for them a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What
do you give this? What do you give this?
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah,
This
Controller, he just like that kind like he like there's some sort of personality quirk with me and him that's
it
like
matches.
it's weird. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like the most unique. You know the little concentric circles of proximity. Like he's like over where in this weird anyway. Some of the shit he like it's the same mind sometimes. Other times like what the fuck is he? What? You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah,
yes,
okay.
it's weird. It's a weird kind of situation.
All right, you think like the homie. The homie thinks like you. All right, I'm gonna give this one a 9.8. I really liked it. I like it when songs go heavy. You know, war content is really not. You know.
Yeah, rocks are atheists. Yeah.
What gets me pumping?
Yeah.
Now, had it been a relationship song,
Aaron Ra said that rocks were atheists.
there was
Like
a couple things in
He
that.
literally people were messaging me like, "Oh, bring Aaron Ra back on your show. It'd be such good entertainment." I'm like, "What happened?" And then like they showed me the clip. I'm like, "I'm not doing that, man." Because that guy, like he went and did our show when we had like 5,000 subscribers. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He was sleeping on you though.
Yeah, he was sleeping on you. He, you know, that's okay. But like, at least he came and did it. I'm not gonna go out and spike the football on the homie. Like, obviously, it's not a good situation. You see what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
Shout out to Aaron Ra. I love you, buddy. Repent though.
Yep.
Repent. Gotta give you your mind back. And you stop embarrassing yourself on the internet, inshallah. This song is an 11. Anybody who says this song is anything other than 11, Allah will never accept them. So, remember that guy said the only religion that Allah accepts is Al-Islam. Any other religion other than Islam will never be accepted. Khalas. All right, there you go, guys.
All right, you guys. We got one more song left.
We got one more song left. Yeah. I know. Shout out to Matt Dillahunty. Me and Soraya were about to do a review of one of Matt Dillahunty's debate, but then he got up and ran away, like literally in the middle of the debate. And after that, I was like, all right, I'm done with that guy. Commercial break. We'll be right back. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener. We are in the midst of an alliance stream.
Anarchy 99 is our group that's up next.
Yes, sir.
The leader being Negative Vibes. The winner of a free-for-all poll wherein any genre under the A99 umbrella is okay to submit was the song Jambinai. From it means okay, then there's the name of the song, but I can't read that. It says from the place been erased.
Are you guys gonna react to Tucker and Alexander Dugan? Yeah, I mean, I guess. Send me the link, vintagestory@gmail.com.
Okay,
I'll talk to him.
Please.
All right, let's do it.
No, I wasn't finished reading.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
From the place been erased by the Korean band Jambinai.
Yes, it looks like Jambinai.
Okay, so they're a Korean band. Let's check it out.
All right, here's a Korean band. Jambinai. The name of this song is Apparition. What's the stamp? 408.
408. Yep. Oh, give me the time.
Stand by, guys. No. 408. Oh, look at that. I'm right on the dot. I was right on the dot with that.
Really? You get those things a lot.
All right, guys. Here we go. This is Jambinai. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Jambinai? I don't know.
Yeah, and then they said from the place been erased, but there's also on here where it says Apparition. Oh, Apparition must be the whole album, right?
Yeah. I'm assuming it is.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, so I'm going to get it right there.
You want me to send the lyrics to you?
No, I already got the lyrics. I just need the volume. Talk to me, Mr. Volume Person.
All right, you guys. Apparition. Oh, who was this one by?
Jambinai.
Yeah, but no, which one of our people won it?
Anarchy 99.
Yeah, well, I don't know who within Anarchy 99.
It was Folly that chose this song.
떨리던 너의 목소리 기억해 마지막 그 손길도 사라져가는 너의 뒷모습을 말없이 바라보네
right off the bat, I have to say that song was deep, man. I could just feel it. I am not from, I know that this is Korean. I don't know what type of Korean music this is because we've really only been introduced to like the pop side of it. Mm-hmm. The music video, we were watching it on the side over here. It was, I think, perfect, like visually what you were seeing going along with what you were hearing. The emotion on these artists' faces, like especially, I actually only noticed the females, the vocalist, and then somebody was on some sort of instrument that was playing from the ground. I really didn't like focus on what instrument it was. I think it was one of those big like violin looking things, a cello that plays off the ground. But they both had like such emotion. Like I would really love to know the story besides this song but behind this song, because it was just incredible. But you could feel it start to finish, and I think that, you know,
I wish Riva was here, you know, because this is like a Korean band.
Yeah. It was lyrically sad, man.
Somebody who said that, something about post punk.
Is that what they're saying? This is post punk.
Like it's like Korean post
Nice.
something. I don't know what. I think I don't know. It's Archero. Somebody called it post punk or post metal or something, which I love. I love that whole genre.
Yeah.
Post punk, like okay, basically Korean post rock. He said. Yeah, I love the post rock shit. Like the way that post anything, the way they do melody. I love the way that happens. But yeah, what was going on with you? You seem really, really touched by the song.
Well, I hate the topic, but it's in the lyrics, so I remember your trembling voice, that last touch, you're fading back. I look at you without saying a word, deeply suppressing the cold sadness, I am alive here. I think that this person singing lost somebody that was very important to them, and they were like looking back at that like last moment, and it says, deeply suppressing the cold sadness, I am alive here. I couldn't even say anything to you. Forgive me for that. I think that whenever loss happens, like there's always that like, well, that we didn't, for the most part, people feel like they didn't expect it and they weren't ready for it. And that, you know, you think back to the last thing that you said to the person and they're saying, I couldn't even say anything to you. Forgive me for that. We don't know why they couldn't say anything. Maybe, you know, there could have been relationship issues. There could have been, the person was in too much pain and you didn't want to say anything in that regard. Like, we don't know the story. Then it says, in the flowing time of forgetfulness, I'm holding my breath so I won't let you go. That part, in an erased place, that whole part was really hard to even hear, because I think, you know, anybody who's lost anybody, I think, kind of knows this experience. And if you haven't, you've probably heard somebody expressing it, that there's a certain level of forgetfulness that kind of begins to happen over time. Like, I remember my father, when he lost his father when he was 24 years old, and it was, he wasn't prepared for that. He had no idea it was coming. It was really sudden. He just had like heart failure at work. So he lost his dad like that, and then he lost his brother when it was his older brother, but his older brother was actually, now that I'm looking at it, he was about my age, not much older than me, which is crazy because I felt like he was actually older than that, but he was about 40 when he passed away. And my father would say how hard it was. He didn't talk about it a lot to us, but he would, you know, at times he would talk about it and he would say how difficult it was and how, you know, all of a sudden, like, you start forgetting what they sound like, what they looked like. Even though you have full memories of them, just like that kind of phase just kind of does happen. So when she said, in the flowing time of forgetfulness, I'm holding my breath so I won't let you go. And, you know, I'm just going to like, kind of like, my first experience of that, which I talked about in that last review, a Perfect Circle review, when it was talking about the pets, like, you know, losing a pet because his daughter had lost a pet, I guess, or something. That I remember being super sad about losing my pets, and then like getting beyond that, and then like feeling like I couldn't remember what they looked like, and then and it was, for a kid, it was a hard experience. And then when you hear adults talk about it, or other people talk about it, when it's like somebody that they love, like you're like, okay, whatever I was feeling about my pet, you got to multiply that by a lot, because it's now a human being connected to another human being. But I thought that the song was beautifully done. I don't think it could have been improved upon. From everything, including the backdrop. I love what they did in the background, which there was like the different stuff happening, like you kind of looked like you were going through like some spacey sort of scene. So I really don't think it could have been improved upon. This is definitely my favorite Korean song that I have ever heard. There's no close second. Yeah. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, not really much to say.
Yeah. It's definitely a tough song. I did think also the deeply suppressing the cold sadness part was another like really like challenging point also. But I'm giving this song a very high rating, because I do not think it could have been improved upon. I loved it start to finish. I know our breakdowns are usually longer, but I mean, I think that there was, I don't have anything more to say about the lyrics. I definitely think if you watch the video with the official video, you'll see the English lyrics are going to come at the bottom. So as she's singing it, you know exactly where she is in the song. It's definitely worth going over there and taking a look at this actual whole video. I'm giving this song a 10.5. This is it was just beautifully done. And I think that that's as much as I'll say.
Yeah, it's a good song. Silent count for me. Rest in peace, Zelda. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's a good song. Obviously, Shorty can sing. Vocals were really good. I would have probably, it's probably an offline thing, but I'd have probably watched the official video for that one.
That was what I had playing over here.
Yep.
Oh, you're saying you would have played it for everybody else, is what you're saying?
Yeah, just because Rumble, we've been having really good luck on the Rumble side, guys. We've been able to do a lot of these, and nothing's touched it yet. So hopefully, dude, if you asked about Satiricon Mother North live at the Opera, you asked that like 3 or 4 days ago, bro. I literally posted the link in the chat for you, because we did that like 3 years ago, bro. So it's already there for you. Okay. Yeah, it's a good song. If you've lost someone, very sorry about that. Rest in peace to all the ones that we've lost, I guess. I'll see you guys. I think, how are we going to do this? We got alliance leaders here, right? I'm going to set something. Yeah. Okay. So let's get out of this. Let's cut this video, and then, I'll bring up the Ring Central link.
Okay. And you're going to send them the link.
And the alliance leaders, I'll send them a link. If you are,
is there a certain place they go to Patreon? We'll post that. How are we going to do that? Do you have a plan that you're going to tell them?
Yeah. Archero, we'll just text the link to Archero.
Okay.
Because Archero's here.
Perfect. All right, Archero, be on the lookout.
Thank you guys for that song. I didn't you know, I didn't comment a lot on it, but y'all know, what it's about with me all the time. So I pretty much agree with her. It's kind of like an off guard type of situation. Hold on, let me see it. We didn't take Room Central on the update to this thing.
I don't do any updates to anything on that computer.
Yeah, no sweat it. Just talk to everybody then.
Well, no, we're ending the stream and then we're starting something with the alliances.
We're not ending
No?
the stream yet. No.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Yeah, I guess we'll do it. Ask Me Anything. Or, well, we already rated that song, so that one was done. Yeah, that was a beautiful song.
Nobody's asking any questions.
I'm trying to get to the live stream, but I want to make sure I'm going to the correct one. All right. Oh, everybody's saying good night. Good night. Happy International Workers' Day. Oh, really? Was that today?
I think so.
Solidarity of the working class. Yeah, you missed the Korean song, and boy, wasn't it a listen. Anyway, you guys should react to a lot of Manowar songs. You guys used to listen to them traditional heavy metal a lot before. Yep, now we react to whatever our DJs bring to the table. So
includes movies, shows.
Yeah. Don't forget
you should do a thing on Patreon for if we were to do a show, what show would they want to watch together?
Mm-hmm. I
think the patrons should be able to have the first dibs at that.
Yep. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. I could set up a poll. You want me to put my... Oh, okay. Okay. The controller of my... Oh, May 1st is International. Okay, so right now, we just crossed over to it. Well, there you have it, you guys. International Workers' Day. Shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to us.
It came and went. Yeah, we're workers. We don't get no love?
Today's the 1st. Yesterday was the 30th. Today's the 1st. Like, as in, we just crossed midnight, and so now we're headed into the 1st. Oh, you're having... Well, wait a minute. Are you having laser surgery to fix your left eye, Dreadmare? I bet if somebody had... That, to me, is like... When people don't realize that they have eye problems, and then they go in and the doctor's like, that could be a simple fix with a laser. We can fix that situation. That must be crazy to, like, walk in. Because some of those surgery things with the laser are, like, so friggin' fast. Like, you roll in, and then you basically roll out, and, like, the next day your hair is, like... Well, I said hair because my father had work done on his eye, but his was not, like, a quick surgery. I remember him having, like, this drain, this little tube that was coming out of his eye. It was, like, hooked to the back or something. And my grandmother couldn't see very good, which was his mother. And she came walking across the floor, and she was like... She said, hey, you got a hair hooked to this. And she went to pull the friggin' tube that was hooked to the back of his eye, or hooked... So that's why I said hair, was because I thought of that story.
Was that for?
My father, after he had his eye surgery, I'm saying it wasn't a quick laser surgery. It was like, you know, I mean, I was probably like 8 years old at the time, so it was over 20 years ago. Oh, Dreadmare, you want to have it done. I have 20/20 vision with my right eye. Well, why would you need to have anything done then? 20/20? That's pretty good. Wait, your left eye has been what way? Can they fix it with laser? Or is that something that you're just hoping they're going to be able to? Thank you for the encouragement, Neil.
Well,
my friend got laser eye surgery about 7 years ago. He's back to wearing glasses again. His eyes were pretty bad to begin with. Ever thought of getting LASIK?
Hey.
Sorry, just stamped that idea right out. Wait, what do you need?
I need your phone.
Okay.
Who's in there so far?
We've got Archero, we have Dreadmare Fan, we have Controller of Minds, your racist friend. And I'm gonna pull over onto the Rumble side. See if we got anything. Okay, Daniel, have a good night. Song of the month for sure on the playlist. Daniel, which song are you saying is the song of the month? Jump back to this one. Oh, okay. Middle doesn't mind wearing glasses as I do stuff that could be eye dangerous. Astigmatism. I don't know what that is, but That's good if you can figure if there's a way for it to be fixed. I wonder if those surgeries are expensive.
What?
Those eye surgeries. You've seen Manowar live once in 2009 in Norway. Oh, okay. I'm actually like pretty excited. No, not us. Controller of Minds. I'm actually pretty excited to go to our next show. I don't know when it'll be, but when it is, you guys will probably be getting the updates again. That was fun. Remember we used to do those updates?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Bruno sent you the link to the Tucker interview. Which one? Who did he interview?
He interviewed some...
Yeah, Archero, don't wait another day. Just get it scheduled.
He interviewed some dude who,
What? Middle Earth, Manowar's loudest concert on record, about 132 decibels. What's average for decibels at a show? And what's like what would make you deaf? Like where can they not like go over? Sometimes like when you get out of those shows, you feel like your ears are never going to go back to regular. Especially if you were standing by one of the speakers, so it's like really bad in one ear, you're like, I damaged that for sure. Okay, Controller of Minds. Insomnium is coming to New York region, 11th of May, in case you guys have time for it. Oh, wow, that's coming right up. Jet, is the song all over? Yes, Jet, the song is over. The stream is over. We're just hanging out for a couple more minutes before we go to our Alliance meeting. I don't know. Nihilus? Is that his Nihilus? Your racist guy? Controller of Minds, awesome. They're a band I'm dying to see live, but they never play North America. They're playing in New York in November, and I'm going to try to travel to go if I can get work off. Oh, that's cool if you can get it off.